Good afternoon. It's time. It's time for another NFL Bucky's Mail Day, Wednesday edition. The host, Mike C, and of course, Star Show. As always, it's Bucky. Say hi, Bucky. Bucky says hi. We're going to start on a sad note today. We lost, I think, a great actor. Some of his favorite roles of mine. I really, it's hard to describe Val Kilmer. Different kind of a guy, but some great roles, great acting, and some of my favorite performances. And in front of Bucky today, I've got two of his great films. One, we've got Batman Forever, and he played, I thought, an underrated version of Batman. A little bit different. Critics didn't really like it, but I don't really like critics that much. So we lost another Batman, and one of his famous, if not his famous role, was in Tombstone as Doc Holliday. And ironically, I just watched it again, not all of it, but yesterday it was on for the millionth time. And fantastic performance. Didn't get an Oscar because it was too late in the season. Should have made an exception. Still should make an exception because he was just brilliant in that movie. He was also in Top Gun. It was Ice in Top Gun. And then he did a remake, Maverick. He was also, he's in many movies. He's also in the Doors movie. He played Jim Morrison. And I swear to God, he looked like him and sounded like him. He did some of his own songs. He's a very talented musician. He had throat cancer a few years ago and lost his voice. And he had to use a breathing apparatus. He succumbed to pneumonia yesterday. He was 65 years old, and we lost a great actor, I thought. And so rest in peace, Val. We're dedicating this mock draft to you, and so this is Bucky's first total 32 picks mock draft, and in front of the two movies that I mentioned before, we've got the draft order card, and you'll see this again because we'll combine it with the other cards. We've got other things we can work. The draft is 3 weeks away. It's on Thursday, of course, and it's getting exciting. Tons of mocks out there, some good, some bad. That's just the way mocks are. This is Bucky's first this year. It won't be his last. The other day we posted 5 separate Lions 5-round mock drafts. I thought went very well. A little slow start. That's okay. But so we'll see what happens. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time because it's going to be a really long video as it is. I'll make a few big comments here and there, but we'll see what happens. To start off the mock draft, the Tennessee Titans select quarterback Cam Ward from Miami. Just about everybody's predicting this. Unless something drastic changes, that's who they'll pick. If they trade the pick for a monster, load of other draft picks, obviously that could change. But as of now, there's no trades in this mock, by the way. It's Cam Ward, and we're going to go with that. Second overall pick, Abdul Carter, edge from Penn State for the Cleveland Browns. This is actually a tough pick. They've got Myles Garrett. I think they draft Carter and form one of, if not the best, edge draft or edge classes, and very formidable. I think you solidify the defense first. You worry about a quarterback next year. They've got some quarterback, but it's not that great. So the defense will be great. The rest of the team will not. But I worry about that, next year. That's who I would go. I think he's the best player available. Third overall pick, Travis Hunter, cornerback / wide receiver from Colorado for the New York Football Giants. Giants, they need a corner. It's a hybrid. It's too tempting of a pick to pass up. And Giants could go quarterback. But next year's class is going to be better. And I think they're just going to kind of bide their time. Unfortunately, their head coach and the GM might be under the gun if they don't win. But we'll see what happens with that. Fourth overall pick, I've got Mason Graham, defensive tackle from Michigan for the New England Patriots. That was a little bit of a tough pick. Excuse me. They could have went in different directions. That's why I brought something to drink. But they went with the best player available at the time. They don't need a quarterback, so I think that's a good selection. You got to solidify people's defense, and that's what the Patriots did. The fifth overall pick, I've got. I don't know if I ever picked this guy before, to be honest with you. Armand Membu, offensive tackle from Missouri for Jacksonville Jaguars. They got to protect their quarterback, and he's been flying up the boards. Some say he's the number one tackle. Probably right now he is. Maybe I'm not exactly sure of that. But you gotta protect, because if you don't protect the quarterback, they're not going anywhere. No team has, really, to be honest with you. Sixth, I've got Shadur Sanders, quarterback from Colorado for the Raiders. It's been speculated for that. They could even trade up. But there's been a lot of talk of him going to the Raiders, and he's right there. I had to pick him for the Raiders. So, see, not the most, gifted passer. He's been sacked a zillion times. The biggest arm in the world, but I think he'll do all right if he gets in the right team, and if he can protect him, and which is a question mark. But it's, the other rounds are for. But I think it's a very good pick for the Raiders. Then I've got Will Campbell, offensive tackle from LSU for the New York Jets. Not sure who the Jets quarterback is going to be. Aaron Rodgers still hasn't signed with anybody yet. He won't be for the Jets, that's for sure. Most likely the Steelers. But regardless, you have to, protect your quarterback, like I mentioned before. He may be the number one offensive tackle. Very well likely will be. It's not a sexy pick, but it's the Jets, so what do you expect? Then I've got, this is a sexy pick. At number 8, I got Ashton Gentry, running back from Boise State to the Carolina Panthers. Just, a change of offense. The best running back. If he gets in the right team and the right system, he's going to be a superstar. I've seen him run. He's just, once he gets going, he's tough to bring down. Fantastic talent. And I think the best running back in maybe years. We'll see. But I think it's a very good pick for the Panthers. Number 9, I've got Tetrarola McMillan, wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. Oh, I'm sorry. That's wrong. From Arizona for the New Orleans Saints. The Saints need a wide receiver. Big guy, like 6'5", something. Not very fast, but at that height, you really don't have to be fast. And if he was, he'd go, a lot higher, like, not too many big wide receivers like that, go that high. So I think it's a very good pick for them. I like that pick, actually. Number 10, I got Kelvin Banks, offensive tackle from Texas for the Chicago Bears. Bears want to protect their investment from last year. And their wide receiver, they got two very good picks last year, I thought. The offensive line needs some help. Bears are going to be formidable. They got they had a lot of money to spend. They did that. They got quite a few picks. They got 2 second-round picks, and the Bears are going to be they're an up-and-coming team. They're going to be trouble, but that's fun too. At number 11, I've got Jahard Campbell, a linebacker out of Bama for the 49ers. I kind of went with the best available player right there. Niners are a tough, for me, it's a tough team to pick. The usual wide receiver, it's like, that's one of the best player available, and he's a hell of a linebacker, and that's where I picked him. At number 12, I got Jalen Walker, edge, Georgia, for the Dallas Cowboys. That was a tough pick. Cowboys are always tough. They like to make a splash. My guess is they might trade up to get the running back, Ashton Gentry. It would not surprise me. Cowboys they're just tough to pick. There's always a few teams that are like, Cowboys are one of them for me. At 13, I've got Josh Simmons, offensive tackle from the Ohio State for the Miami Dolphins. They need offensive line protection, protect Tua, and a lot of offensive tackles, but it's a very popular position to pick in the draft. 14, I got Tyler Warren, tight end from Penn State for the Indianapolis Colts. Quarterback needs all the help they can get. Very good player. I don't like to pick tight ends in the first round for anybody. It's not my cup of tea, but there's another one coming up. But Colts, I've seen them, projected the Colts, a few times, so it would not surprise me. But Colts are, the quarterback is kind of shaky right now. We'll see what happens. Where am I? At 15, looks like I got Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan for the Atlanta Falcons. Another team that likes, go with wide receivers. This was a tough pick because I obviously don't follow the Atlanta Falcons. Kind of best player available. He was a hell of a corner. He got injured. Hopefully he'll be back 100%. It might take a while. We'll see what happens with that. At 16, I've got Shamar Stewart, edge from Texas A&M for the Phoenix Cardinals. Cardinals need a lot of help, especially on defense. I like that edge. He's a bigger edge. He's had some weight issues, but I think he's down now. And Cardinals are a tough team because they got talent. They just seems to be something missing. I don't know what it is, but maybe this guy will turn around. At 17, I've got Mikael Williams, edge, Georgia, for Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are another tough team to pick for. They tend to go for offense, but they're pretty well loaded at that. They need help on defense, obviously. And I like that pick for the Bengals, actually. At 18, I've got Tyler Booker, guard from Bama for the Seattle Seahawks. A lot of mocks, he's rated the number one guard. I think he was injured, which may have dropped him a little bit. Seahawks offensive line needs a little help. And Booker, a big guy, obviously is a guard. I think that'll help the Seahawks a lot. 19. This is probably the highest I've seen him go. Malachi Starks, and I think he's a great safety from Georgia. And I had the Tampa Bay Bucks pick him. Usually he's down further. Even I've seen him for the Lions almost every draft. So it might be a reach, but he's a fantastic player, and the Bucks are in a good position to take a chance. I'm losing my voice. At 20, I've got James Pierce Jr., edge / linebacker from Tennessee for the Denver Broncos. Depends if you play 3-4 or 4-3. I love James Pierce Jr. I want the Lions to draft him if he's there. Could be the number 3 edge in the entire draft. Tons of talent. Background issues. I'm not that worried about it. And the Lions are a good team to handle that. They usually don't pick somebody with that, but I haven't really heard anything about that in a while, so I'm not that concerned. But in this mock draft, he goes a little bit higher than I've seen him. At 21, I've got Jackson Dart, quarterback, Ole Miss for Pittsburgh. They still might sign Aaron Rodgers, but he's only going to be there a year or 2 at the most, and he can learn behind Aaron Rodgers, and he's got a lot of talent, but he's very raw. So this is a solid pick. I like that pick a lot, actually. At 23, I've got Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan, for the Bolts. I told you another tight end. There he is. My memory is number 44, which has nothing to do with anything, but just FYI. But I don't think they really have a good tight end. And the Chargers had some great tight ends in the past, and they're going to get another one. And Herbert needs a little more help. Defense would not be a bad choice either. Where am I? Okay, I've got 24. I've got Nick Scorton, edge, Texas A&M for the Packers. A good size end. Packers are another tough team to pick for. They always seem to be cornerbacks. They never pick them. They seem to need wide receivers. They never pick them in the first round. I went with edge because of their teams in the division, and that's a very wild. Packers are always a wild card team. It wouldn't surprise me if they pick cornerback or anything but quarterback for that team. The Packers are tough. 25, I got Nick. I said this guy's name. Imawariye, safety out of South Carolina for the Minnesota Vikings. He's a bigger safety. It's like 6'3" something. He's getting a lot of hype, and Vikings need help on their defense. Vikings, usually I know who they're going to pick because the voice of the Vikings, Paul Allen, does pre-drafts, and he's been right more often than not. So I'll have to listen to him again, but this isn't his mock draft. This is Bucky's mock draft. At what about 26? I got Gray Zabel, guard / center from North Dakota State for the Houston Texans. Another pick the Lions have been linked to. I don't know if he'll probably start at guard and go to center. That's what would happen with the Lions, I'm sure. But versatile, really up to stock during the Senior Bowl and the high what do you call them, Bucky? The pro days, things like that, and he's got a mean stretch. I think he's a very good player. He's the only offensive player I would like the Lions to draft in the first round. At 27, I've got Donovan Ezerico, edge from Boston College for the Rams. Another fast riser. Seen him pick for the Lions. Don't know a lot about him, but I've seen his name a ton of times. I don't know if I've ever drafted him myself, but what I've heard, he's a very good edge. So the Rams are another tough team to pick for. Some are easier than others, but that's, neither here nor there. At 28, I'll spend a little more time on this one. Um, that's why I screwed up. No, okay, there he is. Um, what the heck did I do? Hmm. Oh, I see. I got out of order here. Uh, oh, I see what I did. I'm really messed up here. I got the numbers mixed up. The next pick I've got is Jahad Barron from Texas for Pittsburgh. I don't have his position. Um, I think he's a cornerback, if I remember right. We're gonna go with that. Um, Pittsburgh could, go with a quarterback, but I need to take better notes. Um, but Pittsburgh is not a tough team. You don't pick a wide receiver. Um, but this, the quarterback. This is where the Jackson Dart could go. But we'll see what happens on that one. At 28, I've got for the Detroit Lions. This I'll spend a little more time on. I went with Mike Green, edge from Marshall. Um, there's 3 or 4 players I want the Lions to draft. Mike Green is one of them. James Pierce Jr. is another one. I'd be okay with Zabel, and the fourth would be maybe a run stopping edge with some pass rushing skills. I really want an edge, and Mike Green and Pierce they're not your typical edge rushers, but they're dynamic, and I'd be happy with either one of them, to be honest with you. Okay, where am I? At 30, I've got I can't say his name. Harmon. I'm sorry, defensive tackle from Oregon. Derek Harmon. I'm sorry, from Oregon for the Washington Commanders. I've seen him go to the Lions too. Very talented defensive tackle. I'm pretty sure that Washington will pick a defensive player. It's my guess. 31, I've got Walter Nolan, defensive tackle for Buffalo. Can't even read my own writing here. Bills will pick some defensive player. They're a little weak in some of the defensive areas, and we'll see what happens. Next pick, I can't even read this, Bucky. Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle from Michigan. Another player the Lions have been linked to. Chiefs, offense, they're okay. Maybe a wide receiver, but Chiefs will go for defense. And Kenneth Grant, I think is number 1 defensive tackle. That's just my opinion. And the last pick of the draft, Bucky's draft, I've got Siobhan Revel, cornerback from East Carolina for the Eagles. Fly Eagles fly. And Eagles could, trade out of the first round. They don't really need a lot. You can always get more picks. If there's a quarterback available or somebody their team wants, they can trade back into the first round, which happens a lot, I think. But we'll see. So that's Bucky's first complete mock draft of the year. And like I said, this is dedicated to Val Kilmer, and rest in peace. And comment on it if you want to, like if you want to. Check out the other stuff, other videos from Bucky this week. And I don't think we'll do another one. Maybe we might do Bucky 4.0. We'll see what happens. But for now, this is Mike Senior Star Show. As always, Bucky, say bye, Bucky. Bucky says bye. And take care and tell someone you love them. All right, bye now.